Hey y'all, at the beach, obviously. I like to come out early in the morning, and you can see seals out here kind of dipping around. Yeah. Well, this is the second time I've started this video today. Seems to be a difficult one, but I'll get this done, yeah. I was out here earlier, probably about a half hour ago, filming. I wanted to talk about friendships. It's my subject today. I saw this article that I had saved on one of my apps, and I thought this would be perfect to talk about, well, for everybody, but especially in the nomad world. The name of the article it still is, Making Friends as an Adult. So I want to talk about making and keeping friends. Friendships are very important. Well, so I was out here filming, and I wanted to change location. And I walked over by these rocks, and this woman came up to me and asked me what I was doing. So I don't know why, but I hesitated, and I said, well, why? Why do you want to know that, you know? Being in a new town, and, I'm careful. And she says, well, because I want you to ask you to pray for me. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, sure, I can do that. So I asked her name. It's Stephanie, if we want to pray for her. And she's homeless. So she seemed clean and well. She said what she's doing right now is she's couch hopping with her friends. So we prayed for a while, and I talked to her. So it's kind of interesting that I feel like I made somewhat of not really a friend, it's more of an acquaintance, but yeah, it was nice. She does knitting. She gave me a knitted purse, and it's simple, but it was a nice gesture. But after I went back to filming, and things just kind of one right after the other kind of went downhill. My phone, I couldn't get my tripod to go up and down. It's happened before, and I thought, oh, please, not out here. I'm out here on the beach. Yeah, I'd have to take it all apart. Then my phone went, my good phone right here, right there, went into the sand and got stuck. It wouldn't move. Nothing happened. So I thought, oh my gosh, everything just one right after the other kind of went downhill. So went back to my van, talked to my friend, like, oh my gosh, this has happened. Now everything's like, yeah. So anyways, yeah. About 15 minutes later, my phone finally reacted. What it did was I went to turn it off. So on the new ones, you have to do both sides, the high or low volume and the turn off, and you have to press them at the same time. Well, and then you have a slide. You push the slide over in it to turn it off. Well, if I would have kept doing it more, there's an emergency SOS. I thought, oh great, now I'm going to have the authorities come. Apple's going to get a hold of my location, and they're going to say she's in trouble. I thought, oh yeah, I can't do that. So that's okay. So why am I telling you all this? Well, to tell you, because you're my friends. Because I think that a lot of you, we are friends. I'm going to list a couple off. Sadie Haskell, Felicity, Julie White, Carla White. I'll see who else. If I miss you, I'm sorry. But Denise, we're friends. We are lifelong friends. We haven't met in person yet, but we are friends. And so this is perfect for friends. And I just want to mention that through my videos, I've made some wonderful friends. And as I talk about how to make and keep friends, we'll see why we are friends, because we had that constant contact. Yes. and hopefully someday we will meet. Well, I want to tell you this also so that you'll see why I'm a little off balance right now. Yeah. That was a weird experience, and I can look at her. She's still over here in the rocks over here. Very nice looking lady, but I'm going to guess she's maybe in her 40s. So if you want to keep Stephanie in your prayers, her name's Stephanie. And I asked her if she has a vehicle. She said no, that she doesn't drive. She can't drive. And I said, ooh, why is that? I'm thinking maybe DUIs or something. But she said because she just can't. She never could drive. I don't know if any of you remember John Lennon. He could not drive. The one time that he did drive, he was with Yoko and her daughter and Julian Lennon. And they were driving, and he just ran it out the road. Some people can't drive. He ran, almost killed them. He just ran it out the road. I get it might be like a brain thing, connections that just, they can't coordinate it up. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's go on to friendships. Friendships. Making friends as an adult. The largest study ever done, the longest study ever done, is on happiness. Years and years, and they followed people throughout their life. The happiest people were the ones who had a great and a very solid social connection. They were connected with friends. So yeah, it's important to have friends. But as adults, we lose contact with our friends. A lot of us are a little bit more transient. We maybe transplanted to another city. Well, one of the greatest ways to keep your friends is to stay in one spot. The people that you graduated with, there's where you can really have them solid friendships. People that you grew up, they were your neighbors. And throughout your life, you can keep connected with them. Well, like with me, I was born and raised in Ohio. But then my husband and I, we moved to Tucson, Arizona, and we're there. Well, you have to meet all new friends. Well, Tucson is a great place to be if you are a transplant, because people are in and out all the time, and people are more friendly in that circumstance because they want to open themselves up more. Like, they need friends just as much as you need a friend. So you're more like, oh, hi, yeah, well, here's my name, and this is what I like to do. You want to call me sometime, But I noticed when I was in Ohio, I went back, and, I didn't know a lot of people my own age. I knew my kids that were there, but a lot of people my own age, and I was in Cincinnati, which I didn't grow up in Cincinnati, and I would want to be friends, and I did. There were some that, oh yeah, but in a lot of cases, people just like, well, do I know you? They already had enough friends. They don't need another friend, So they weren't in that situation back east. Maybe they're not as open to having a new friend. Well, I wanted a friend, I did. So here's the problem, especially for nomads and adults in general. If you're a transplant, you really have to put the effort out to make friends. One of the nicest ways to make a friend is to get out there and make the effort. Take responsibility for it. And make the effort. Go places where you can meet people. Put yourself out there. Friendships do not necessarily happen organically. It takes effort. You have to put your effort out. Another problem as adults is we have more responsibilities, whether it be our children or our parents or, just family in general or our jobs, to where a friendship is a voluntary thing. It's free-flowing. You can either have friends or you don't have to have friends. You can pick your friends. It's not like they're family where you're kind of stuck with them. It's very free-flowing with your friends. Like I said, I'm a little off balance, so I might not even edit this. This is going to be all improv here. So when it comes to you're free to do it or not do it, you might put it on the shelf and say, well, I don't have to do that. I've got enough I have to do. So there's where your friendships can fall off. Yeah, fall off the cliff and never come back. Friendships take cultivating. You have to feed it or it will die. Feed your friends, feed your friendships. So you have to be proactive if you want to make friends. Now I'm going to talk just in general for bricks and sticks people and for nomads. You have to go where events are happening, where you're going to be meeting people. Or you're going to see some friends that you've already made. You want to keep feeding those friendships. And you want to also take that first bite. You want to meet new friends. So you want to go to events where they're going to be. Don't just sit back and say, no, I'm not going to go to that. And it might be, I remember last year in Quartzsite, there was a meetup with a Facebook group. I was with Max and Carmen. And we almost didn't go. We thought, well, okay, but it was in a different area of the BLM then, which I don't know why we wouldn't have gone. But I didn't know anybody except Max and Carmen, and we went there. But I'm glad we did. It was a nice meetup, Mom. Mike Priscelli. Yes. Hey, Mike. And it was fun. It's a whole lot of drinking going on. A lot of people got... A girl, one lady, she almost fell in the fire. Then she fell down and she hurt her knee. Wow, there's a lot of drinking going on. But it was interesting because I don't drink. So I was just sort of observing. Yeah, Max and Carmen and I, of course, you know, we didn't drink, so we're just like watching everybody else be stupid. Yeah. So that was fun. Okay, that was a side note, you know. So basically, but we went and we introduced ourselves. I had some very interesting conversations with people that I met. Now, I did exchange some phone numbers with a couple people, but we didn't really, for the long haul, it didn't work out. But we did go. And we met some new people. And I met Mike Priscelli. That was good. And we, I know he's got that Facebook group. I've got my Facebook group. And I'll probably see him this winter in Quartzsite at some point. But you want to go to places where you know that you can continually see the same people. So you can cultivate and feed a friendship. If you're just going to go to the bar and meet somebody, or you're going to go to maybe the orchestra and you see somebody beside you, you might only see them one time, and it's hard to cultivate that. So you want to join maybe a group where you know that you're going to see these people over and over and over again, and that's where the friendship will start growing. You're feeding it, you're interacting with them. Now, Max was my first nomad friend. I met him in Quartzsite. And it helps to get out. I walked all the time, and as I was walking around, I was alone there. That was my first time in the RTR situation at Quartzsite. And he had a minivan, so I was like, oh, here's a guy, and he's got a minivan. So I walked up to him, introduced myself. We talked. He showed me his van. And then throughout the days, I would walk, and he wasn't too far from me, so we would talk. Saw him at one of the RTR meetings that year. That's when the RTR was still going on. And we exchanged numbers. And so throughout the next year, we texted each other. Well, about 6 months later, he came to Reno and spent some time with me. And yeah, so social media is going to help keep that contact going for nomads. Oh yeah. Now, I have had people ask me on the Facebook group and on YouTube, I want to be a nomad, but I would prefer to travel with somebody. How do I do that? How do I meet people? Where do I find somebody? Well, that's going to be a little difficult at first. You can join a caravan. I'll do shout out to Hawa. Just look up Hawa and go on to maybe the Facebook group and look them up, and it'll lead you to where you go to find out if they still have the caravans. I know there's, with COVID, I'm not sure. I know they stopped them for a while. Now there you're going to travel with people that you don't know, but you're all in the same group. And studies show that when you continually do activities and you have behaviors with each other over a course of time, even though you don't know them, and studies show even if you don't initially like that person or they're not your type of person to hang out with, by doing behaviors together and you end up bonding, like on the campfire at night or having a potluck, sharing coffee in the morning, getting up and waving to each other. Those are behaviors that will cultivate a friendship even when you wouldn't normally hang out with that person or that type of personality. So continual behaviors is what can cultivate a friendship. And this is if you're living in a home or living as a nomad. Now here's an interesting fact. Studies, I have a psych degree, so I've done a lot of studies, psychological studies, things like that. I've run studies and research projects. So I'm into studies. Study shows that people underestimate how much they are liked. If you go to an event and you meet new people, always remember that people really do like you. If you ask somebody, the studies showed that they asked them if they liked them after meeting them, and they all, in almost all cases, they said, "Oh yeah, I like that person." So don't think that you weren't liked. Just have the confidence to know that people are going to like you. They're not going to, they're not going to dislike you. Yeah. So overestimate your personality when you meet other people. And just walk up to people and introduce yourself. People will not reject you. Not in one case, they did another study, not in one case did somebody reject meeting and talking to them. People will talk to you. Just walk up to them if you're a stranger. This is really my tactic when I'm out here. I will walk up to somebody, not like, oh, I'm going to walk all the way over there. But as people are around me, I might walk up and just, talk to them for a minute. Maybe say something funny or, oh, did you see that over there? Yeah. It's amazing. People want to talk to each other. They want to interact with other people. And as long as you don't look, like you're this evil person dripping slime from your mouth or whatever, people will talk to you. So just go up and talk to somebody and strike up a conversation. Ask questions. Another trick too to making a long-lasting friend is to make yourself vulnerable. Tell somebody what your passions are. And ask them if they've ever done this and how they felt about it. You'll be surprised how people will admit, oh yeah, that was scary, or yeah, I wasn't so good at that. But so don't be afraid to make yourself vulnerable. I'm going to mention that on the Facebook group, Minivan Leads This Nomad Life. Oh my gosh, we're all vulnerable on there, and so am I. And I'm vulnerable with you. I tell you what my fears are. Ooh, that was scary. Or I'm vulnerable enough to say, hey, I just had this encounter. It was kind of odd. Put me a little off balance, but, so to tell you, I'm off balance right now. I'm better. I'm letting you know I feel better right now, yes. How could I not feel better with all this going on? But on the Facebook group, there are many times somebody will make a post and say, I don't know how to do this. Can somebody help me? What should I do? Or I'm afraid to do this. Why am I afraid? Or why does my family, what am I doing wrong? Why does my family not support me in wanting to be a nomad or whatever? And then I am vulnerable too. I mentioned that was so scary for me. So if you want to get support, please go to Facebook and join the group. You're welcome. Yes. We just try to keep our posts centered around the nomad life. We don't post, if you're a YouTuber, don't post your videos there. I'm not here to promote, the group isn't to promote your videos. I don't even post my videos anymore on my Facebook group. It's all about learning together and friendships. And everybody's gaining good friendships there. If you want to become a nomad and you don't want to travel alone, put it out there in the Facebook group. We could meet, just say, who wants to, let's meet. And we'll come together and meet at a certain, meeting place. And then we can start traveling together. Let's see how it goes. It doesn't have to be forever, but you certainly could travel for a couple months together, right? And get to know each other. Yeah, that's a great idea. I think I'll put that out there. Okay. I just gave myself the idea. Let's get this going on the Facebook group and say, hey, who wants to connect up as a partner? Friends, maybe 2 or 3 of you could start traveling together. Could work. So to make a good, long-lasting friendship, you need to keep showing up with the same people. If there is a membership or a group that you've joined, keep showing up. If there's a group of people that a party or, keep showing up. Stability of that group, being in that group, is going to increase the likelihood that other people want to give their phone number to you. They want to connect up with you and they want to make you a lifelong friend. There was a study, another study, it was in college, graduate school, and if you can actually it's called, I can't think of the name of it, but what you're doing, and you'll remember the name, I just can't think of the name of it, where if you're an adult and you just show up and you listen to the lecture. You don't have to sign up for it or pay for it. You can do it. You just sign in at the office. Well, they had a study where they had 4 women go into the classroom. They sat in different areas. They didn't know each other, but they sat there. At the end of the semester, they asked the students, they showed them their pictures, and they said, which one did you like the best? They never talked to them. Nobody ever talked to anybody. But the one that they picked, that they said was the friendliest, that they liked the best, was the one who showed up the most often. It's just people, when you're repeatedly there, people say, I like that person. So it's stability of joining something and showing up for it, where you will gain those friendships. I hope this information, was useful to you. You have to try. You have to show up often. You want to be a little bit vulnerable. You want to ask questions. You want to continually have contact with this person. Now, one thing I will mention that is really cool for nomads is that we are every day. You can have a relationship with somebody if you live in the bricks and sticks. Let's say you're going to date somebody. You meet somebody, you want to date them. How often do you go on a date with them? Well, in the beginning, maybe once a week, on a weekend, and then it starts going maybe on a weekday, you'll get together. Well, if you meet somebody and you're a nomad, guess what? And you start parking, you're going to see them 24/7. Nomad friendships can go very quick. You can get close to somebody very quickly in the nomad lifestyle. And that goes for friendships too. I have this little small circle of friends. We all park together. And we have a messenger group and we post something almost every day to each other. We're very anxious to get back together in quartzsite again. But that's how you make those friendships. You can't help but become their friend because it is more continual than if you live in a bricks and sticks. So I hope this was helpful to you all. It's a good subject for us. As adults, we lose contact with our friends, especially when we are transplants, especially when we're transplanted into another city or town. So I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I also want to mention my Amazon links. I have a storefront. The link is in the video description below. And then also in the video description are the actual links. You don't have to go to the storefront. If you go to the storefront, you're going to get photos. But if you just go to the video description, you're going to get links. It'll be what it is and then a link. If you go through my link and you buy it, put it in your cart and buy it within 24 hours, I get a little bit of commission. It's not a lot, but what it does is it adds up and it helps support me with my videos and my travels. And I hope I'm entertaining for you, that I can entertain you. It just helps me to continually try to entertain you and bring you good information. Now, if your item is in the cart longer than 24 hours, I do not get anything. So what I ask is that you take it out of your cart, then go put it back in your cart and then buy it. If you go through my link, even if you don't want to buy what the link says, and you go shopping and buy other things, I still get it. It's like a door. You go through the door and then I will get a commission if you buy it. Yeah. So that really does help. And I thank you all for doing that. Some of you are very, very dedicated to do that for me. Thank you so much. And if you haven't done it, please try it. Now, I do have the book. I got the book. And you're buying it and you're telling me how much you liked it. So if you want to be a nomad or you want to give the book to somebody as a gift that they're thinking about the lifestyle, I've got plenty of lists for you, and it will get you from A to Z, getting you in your rig and beyond. Showing how to park, where to park, all that stuff. And especially, I do go into detail about domicile, how to get mail, how to get your address, what you need for that. Now, as far as stickers and magnets, oh yeah, I've got a new magnet, and I want to show you. If you go to minivanleague.com, but I want to show it here. I have a new magnet. It's pretty. It's not a flag. It's just got a little red in it, and I've got more stickers. I ordered a lot more stickers. So if you're interested, it does help support me. So yeah, minivanleague.com. Yeah. So I want to thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and so many of you have become my friends. We've got a meetup coming this winter in Quartzsite. So I will announce it in the Facebook group, because it will be for the Facebook group, but so many of you are already in there. If you're not, get in there. And there's some other meetups with a couple other groups too that I'm going to attend, and I'm going to meet some new people. And Quartzsite, I'm going to meet all of you that come, and it's going to be so much fun. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye. Look at this. I didn't see it. My friend saw it, but here's a guy who literally was driving down the street. There was a curve, and he drove right over the rocks and into the water. It's a wonder he landed right side up, but he did. Now here, I thought this was interesting. It's an extreme tow truck. It's extreme. I guess this is an extreme case. Look at that. Yeah. Now they're pulling it out. I just thought y'all might want to see this. Here, my friend and I just happened to be sitting and watching the waves, and along comes a gymnastic group. So we got front row seats of these gals just doing incredible acts. It was a lot of fun. I think it was kind of a photo shoot too. The parents were there taking photos. Yeah, look at it. It was fun. It went on for a good hour. Very talented girls. Here's Abby having fun in the ocean. This is her first time she got soaked. Oh, she had so much fun.